I'm being detained in the yard. Well, I've been thrown out of the place, but you can see how many miles of refrigeration are here. Britain consumes nearly 3 million fridge freezers a year. Our new fridge freezers are costing us a lot more money and lasting a lot less time. It's the complexity that is causing the problem. Mineral resources that come out of recycled appliances go all the way back to China. It's ludicrous, but really all they care about is the money. Hi, welcome to How to Repair. Today I want to talk to you about a refrigeration problem that is not just occurring here in the United Kingdom, it is happening all over Europe and the rest of the world. Refrigeration is only lasting now between 5 and 7 years, and we are having catastrophic problems dealing with the waste. I was nearly arrested in a port compound which holds one of Europe's largest refrigeration recycling plants. Okay, I'm being detained in the yard. As you can see, I'm being filmed by everyone here. I'm in my own vehicle, not causing any problems whatsoever. And the reason why this video is only coming to you now is because when I filmed it in the early part of December, my mother passed away a few days later and I was unable to deal with editing the video and getting it to you. Now, the reason I nearly got arrested, I went down to the Port Authority gates, showed them my ID, they let me into the actual compound, and I went up to the refrigeration recycling plant that had gone bankrupt and shut down. And when I saw the large amount of refrigeration that was in the yard, and I am estimating there is over 20,000 units in this yard which is not being disposed of as yet today, I was actually stopped from filming, and they wanted me to delete the footage that I had on my phone. They did not want me in the compound when they realised I was going in there to film, and this is why eventually they threw me out of the Port Authority compound, and I'll show you the footage for that. Now, as you can imagine, I've had to do a lot of research to find out why the plant shut down, but I need to give you some context to what actually happened. As you know, I fix appliances, and on occasions I get machines that are uneconomical to repair and I have to dispose of them and dispose of them correctly. And I have a friend up in South Wales who I take my raw appliances to, and I give them to him because he has all the licenses to dispose of the units correctly. And I went and gave him a call, and he turned around to me and basically said,
"You've got to be joking, bringing anything in here today. I haven't got room to swing a cat in this yard."
I said, "What's the problem?" And he turned round to me and explained,
"The Newport refrigeration plant has shut down, so all the customers who used to go there are now coming to me. I'm stacked to the roof, mate."
And I videoed up there as well, and you can see this on the screen now. He most probably was holding 7,000 or 8,000 refrigeration units, which he needed to get rid of to go into a refrigeration specialist recycling plant. There's only a few in the United Kingdom. And I started doing a little bit of research and a few phone calls, and I rang some of my friends who work in the community recycling centres. This is where we all take our household rubbish to. And they were having to get temporary accommodation for the amount of refrigeration that was coming into them from households because they couldn't get rid of it. Now, the nearest plant to us in South Wales is over 100 miles away. So all this refrigeration now, which is waste, is now having to be transported to another centre. Now, I went into doing some research to find out what actually went on. I sent some emails to some media companies who'd written articles on this, but there was very little on the internet. I hadn't seen it in the news, and a few friends had only said they'd seen small articles written in the local papers, but nothing on a national scale. Now, the problem being is I've actually found out now that this company had only just acquired the recycling plant and other assets around the country in August, between August and October in 2024. And they purchased it from a company called Sims Metals for 195 million. Part of the money was paid, but I believe another part was owing to Sims Metals. But on the 21st of November 2025, the yard shut down, laying off over 650 employees around the country. November the 25th, 2025, Unimetals Recycling Limited actually went into compulsory liquidation. Now, no other buyer for the assets or for the business has been found as of today's date. This means that all that refrigeration is still in the yard and has not been recycled correctly, nor has any other business taken over that business to help with all the refrigeration problem that we have stockpiling in the area. Companies now and the councils are having to transport all this refrigeration much further distances, in excess of 100 miles, just to get rid of refrigeration. And when you consider that the average Arctic only carries somewhere in the region maximum of between 150 and 200 refrigerators, that's a lot of waste to transport around the country to be disposed of correctly. Now, to verify, I actually went up to my friend's yard just to go and see him to see what the problem was, and I was astonished. I mean, the video footage I had of his yard that you're looking at now, it was all the way to the roof. And this is just not one business. This is multiple businesses in the area that have to deal with the refrigeration that is around there. After leaving him, I drove down to Newport docks, went to the security gate, went through and drove round the 36-acre site. And I wasn't actually able to go into the yard itself. I could only film through the actual grids in the gates. And I was astonished with what I saw. But after about 5-10 minutes of driving around inside the Port Authority, suddenly the security leaped out of the woodwork, shall we say. They were asking me to stop filming. They asked me even to remove the files that I had on my phone and delete them because they said I didn't have permission to actually be filming. Free Liberty, public highway.
I have phone in board. He said nobody can come in this.
No one can film this problem.
He said that nobody can allow in this area.
What, no one's allowed to film the fridge problem? Well, I'm sorry. They let me into the compound. They allowed me in there and I'm allowed to record. There was no signs saying do not record or anything. And what is on my phone is my personal property. And I do apologise to you all for bringing this so late, but I had my own problems to deal with. Now, we need to look at what the problem is. And the problem really is partly us as consumers and also allowing this type of refrigeration to enter the country. You see, our refrigeration used to last 25 plus years, but now, because of auto-defrost systems, heating systems that melt the ice, and other complex sensors in refrigeration, these items are only lasting between 5 and 7 years on average, and this has to change. Now let's look at the basic problem. We all love to have auto-defrost fridge freezers and modern machines today, but are they really worth it? When you look at this huge pile of refrigeration, I can promise you now that nearly 85% of them have not failed because of compressors or lack of gas in the system. They are failing because of sensors, defrost systems, or circuit boards failing. The actual refrigeration unit itself is still perfectly good. It's the complexity that is causing the problem. Now, to illustrate this, I used my AI bot to create a couple of images, and they're not 100%, but they're good enough to illustrate the problem that we have. The old fridge freezer used to only have a mechanical thermostat. Some of them, a little bit more modern, would have electronic thermostat. This would turn the compressor on and off when required to maintain the temperature. Our normal modern fridge freezer today is awfully complex. You have NTC sensors in the fridge and freezer to read the temperature. You have circuit boards that monitor this. The circuit board controls when the compressor comes on and off. You have one or multiple fans that blow air to maintain the temperature in the compartments. And you also have defrost systems which also have an additional sensor or sensors to control the defrost when it's needed. Now, yes, we all love modern fridge freezers, but if they are allowed to be imported and the components are not lasting any good length of time, where is the benefits to us, the general public? These fridge freezers might only last, let's say, 7 years. That means, compared to the old fridge freezer, we are having to replace 3 fridge freezers in the same amount of time that our old fridge freezers used to last. This means, for the sake of laziness, in other words, dwindling your food supplies down and then unplugging the fridge freezer once every 3 months to defrost it, our new fridge freezers are costing us a lot more money and lasting a lot less time. Let's deal with the environmental paradox of all this. First thing you need to know, Britain consumes nearly 3 million fridge freezers a year, but yet we actually manufacture very little. And I mean, I don't know of any refrigeration plants really left in the United Kingdom. Our neighbours in Europe are actually not making anywhere near the quantities that they used to. We are actually importing our fridge freezers from halfway around the world. Just imagine the fuel costs for transporting 3 million fridge freezers. And we are going to war over mineral resources and oil today. There is something seriously wrong, and our politicians are not looking at it correctly. We need to start taking a leaf out of Donald Trump's book.
Look at him. Are you the greatest?
Why not apply tariffs to companies that produce poor quality equipment and actually up those tariffs if they consistently do it? Companies that are local to us, Europe, or even if Britain started making refrigeration again, should have incentives. They are going to give jobs, prosperity to the local communities. Why are we importing so much rubbish into the UK that is not lasting any test of time, but yet we are having to then not only dispose of the waste, most of the mineral resources that come out of recycled appliances go all the way back to China? It's ludicrous. My conclusion on all this is, first, governments need to have a lot more control over companies that are dealing with hazardous waste. They should not be letting down local communities like they have done in this instance. Secondly, if we are buying appliances from much further afield, there should be a minimum lifespan on those appliances. And if appliances are brought in and companies do not comply with regulations with regards to the right to repair and also making sure the appliances last a minimum test of time, tariffs should be put in place. These companies should pay for bringing poor quality in, not us, the general public. Also, I've noticed there are very few manual defrost fridge freezers out on the market today. Most of the manufacturers are forcing this new technology on us, knowing full well that these refrigerators are not going to last the test of time. The fewer components that a fridge freezer has, the more reliable it will be. And lastly, you all know I've done a lot of videos on built-in obsolescence when it comes to tumble dryers and washing machines. These videos have had over 10 million views. Not one manufacturer has ever said to me, you are saying something that's incorrect about our business. Not one government official has ever approached the subject with regards to the obsolescence in machines, and the media outlets seem to ignore the whole subject. I actually think now the government wants consumption to prop up false economies rather than us having quality equipment. They seem to preach the green approach, but really all they care about is the money. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to support the website.